Hey, what's going on, guys? James here, bringing you another YouTube video, and this one is a very interesting video because I'm bringing you a, it's technically a top 6 video, but I'm not going to really classify it as one, because this video is my thoughts on the $1 Million Challenge. My thoughts after beating WWE 2K19's $1 Million Tower. And I have 5 points that are my own, and I talked to Tyson a little bit, who hasn't beat it, and told him, you know, what are some of his biggest complaints with the mode. So, now that I've gathered all the information, here we go. My very first point I want to say is, after beating it, it made me realize something. I never, ever, to quote Chris Jericho, want to play as AJ Styles ever again. I never want to play as AJ Styles ever again, and it's for a few reasons. One of the biggest reasons is, personally, I've just never considered AJ to have an extremely fun moveset to begin with. I mean, I don't know, ever since he made his WWE Games debut, he's never been like one of my go-tos to play as. And again, I don't think he has I just don't think he has a fun moveset to play in the games. So that's my biggest reason. But the other reason is, because going through the $1 Million Tower, it made me realize that AJ has such a cheesy and such an exploitable moveset. For example, the Pele. At the very least, in 2K19, the Pele has ridiculous reach, and it's very rarely countered, and the same can be said for the Phenomenal Blitz, except the thing with the Phenomenal Blitz is, while in my opinion, not in my opinion, from when I was playing the game and doing all my previous attempts of the $1 Million Challenge, the Phenomenal Blitz was countered less, but it has less range. So, I don't know. Plus, I guess when someone reverses the Pele, it punishes you. And when the AI ends up reversing the Phenomenal Blitz, it really doesn't punish you all that much. So I guess there's definitely some trade-offs with doing either one. But yeah, AJ has a very cheesy moveset, especially as, I forgot this one move, with the Phenomenal Forearm. I never had anybody reverse the Phenomenal Forearm in the challenge. So, I don't know. But that's, those are the 2 points for why I personally just don't want to play as AJ ever again in the games. I realize how cheesy and exploitable his moveset is, and I just don't think he has all that fun of a moveset. And I know I'll eat some crap for that, but it's my opinion, and I think if you compare it to other really fun people to use in the games, say RVD for example. RVD is one of the most fun people you can ever play as in the WWE games because his moveset is just absolutely ridiculous, and it's just super fun. Plus, I mean, who doesn't want to go to Here Comes the Pain and do a freaking 5-star frog splash from Times Square? Or who doesn't want to go into Shut Your Mouth, play as RVD, and do a 5-star frog splash from the top of the SmackDown fist? I mean, Rob's moveset is just amazing. I mean, the same could be said for Jeff Hardy as well. But if you compare AJ's moveset to both, say, Jeff and RVD for fun factor in the games, I just don't think it stands up. But anyway, those are the first 2 points. My next point is 2K, and not really 2K, but Yuke's and Visual Concepts. They misled the players, in my opinion, because the $1 Million Challenge, the $1 Million Tower is classified as Legend difficulty, and I'm sure anybody who finds this video can say, it's not Legend difficulty. For everyone that ends up finding this video, that means you've clearly been playing the WWE games for a long time, and more than likely you play exclusively on the Legend difficulty, and the $1 Million Tower is not Legend difficulty. It's not. And one of the things that I wanted to originally compare it to is the Hall of Fame mode in SVR 08. But the thing was, that was Legend difficulty, because Legend difficulty in SVR08, all it was literally a reversal fest. The AI would literally reverse everything you do, and that carried through in every single match that you played in SVR08 on Legend difficulty. So it's not a fair comparison, because this is not Legend difficulty at all. Because again, everyone who finds this video, we all know what Legend difficulty is, and we can safely say that Legend has not been for a long time a challenge. Because you either get something like in SVR08 where it's literally the AI reversing every single move you do, or you get to the point where you're so good at the game yourself that it doesn't matter what the AI does, you win every time. And even when you go looking out for slider sets to make the game more difficult, you still find it very easy. Either way, that's my opinion. That's my opinion on the matter. Because if you look at 2K19, okay, your only problem is if you're not good at kicking out or reversing. And the way I like to describe the difficulty of the $1 Million Challenge is it's not even Legend with the sliders turned up to give you the most legitimate challenge possible. It's literally just an artificially made bullshit difficulty. And again, that's coming from someone who's been playing the games for a long time and has beaten the $1 Million Challenge. So I feel like I have a right to say this. And I don't know. That's my opinion. I just feel like it's an artificially made difficulty. And I know why they would make it that difficult. Because you don't want anyone to actually go out and just, cheat their way to victory. You don't want to just hand somebody $1 million and say, oh, here you go. It doesn't matter if you're the best. Here's $1 million. 2K doesn't want that. No. If someone's gonna win that $1 million, they're gonna have to really, really, really win it. They absolutely have to earn it. They have to earn every damn cent that they get. And personally, as I didn't send in a promo, because I didn't actually beat it until January 31st, which was the last day you could send the promo in. And I could have made a promo, but I just decided to say screw it. And one of the decisions in doing that was, personally, I feel like 2K are going to try and rig it in AJ's favor. Because in case you don't know, so if you can beat the $1 Million Challenge, the $1 Million Tower, and if you send in a good promo, they take the 4 best promos, they fly you out during WrestleMania weekend, and then they have a tournament for the 4 people who cut the good promos. Then if you win the tournament, you go to the final match against AJ, and if you beat AJ, you get $1 million. Which is probably not actually $1 million because of tax reasons, but it'll probably be really, still a significant amount of money. Either way. I personally feel like it wouldn't be that difficult for someone that's been playing the games for a long time to beat AJ. Because, okay, for anyone that knows AJ Styles, for anyone that even pays attention to Up Up Down Down is a great example, you know that whenever AJ's on Up Up Down Down, his thing is retro games. It's definitely not the current games. And we all know he does play current games, I guarantee it. But that's definitely not his interest and his hobby. So, knowing that, I definitely don't believe at all that anyone who is remotely good at 2K19 would lose to AJ in a legitimate one-on-one match. Especially if you're playing on PS4. But either way, yeah, I just think 2K is going to try and rig it and really make someone, quote-unquote, earn it at that point. But either way, I'm not going to spend too much more time on that. But that actually, the whole like misleading the players and difficulty thing, it actually brings me to my third point rather nicely. Because the $1 Million Challenge, in my opinion, it doesn't teach you how to be good at the game, but it forces you to learn how to cheese and exploit the game. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, which you probably do if you're finding this video, because you probably have seen other like bigger creators get through it. And what you do is you knock the opponent down and you stomp the AI. You stomp the AI until they reverse, then you hit them with the Pele, and then you stomp them until they reverse, you hit them with the Pele, and you keep doing that. And the thing is, it's so cheesy and you're exploiting the game. But if 2K would have given us, like I said, the previous point, if 2K would have given us a legitimate challenge, we wouldn't have to exploit their game. Plus, you know, if they wouldn't have programmed the stomp you forever when you're stomp you forever when you're on the ground thing, if they wouldn't have put that back in the game, this wouldn't be a problem either. But either way, to get to the current point here, I do believe 100% that it forces you to learn how to cheese and exploit if you didn't already know. And personally, I'm sure I can speak for a lot of people who play the games regularly when I say I went into the $1 Million Challenge expecting a very difficult but legitimate challenge. It's something that I knew I wouldn't get on the first try, but if I ever made mistakes, I knew that's why I would fail, is because of my own mistakes. And that wasn't the case. And for me, you know, I've been playing the WWE games for a long time. I started with SmackDown vs. Raw 2010, and I got that on Valentine's Day 2010. And then, of course, I've gone through and I've played so many of the games since then. I own every single main franchise title, from WWF SmackDown to 2K19. So, I've been playing the games a long time. I'm very good at them. I've even got good at Here Comes the Pain and All-Stars, which, talk about All-Stars, that's just because, you know, I've put way too much time into that game. I've put way too much time into All-Stars. But, you know, knowing that, you know, knowing I've been playing for so long, I didn't feel good about cheesing the AI. I didn't at all. But I realized, you know, it was the only way to get through this whole damn tower, because it's not a legitimate challenge. So, knowing that, again, if anyone finds this video, who's beaten the $1 Million Tower 100% legitimately, let me know. Please let me know. And do you have video proof? Because I would love to see how you got through it if you did it legitimately. But other than that, there's not much else I'd want to talk about in this regard. It's just, you had to cheese. The tower it forced you to cheese. But going into my next point, and it actually goes into misleading the players from the second point, in a way. 2K were not correct when they said that you had to do it all in one run. Because, while you can't leave the $1 Million Tower main menu, you don't have to do it all in one run. Because, if you have a PS4, you can put the tower into or when you're on the tower main menu, if you're like getting tired, or you know, maybe you're using the alternate submission system and you're button mashing to hell and your arm is just wrecked, something like that, if you're just tired or whatever, if you got a PS4, you can put it into rest mode without exiting out of the $1 Million Tower. And when you bring it back up, it'll save your progress. You can go right back from where you were, from where you left off. So, So essentially, yeah, just put your PS4 into rest mode, leaving the game application running, and there you go. So I mean, I guess you technically are still doing it in one run, but it's definitely an exploit that I don't even think 2K thought about, honestly. Because I've given it some thought of my own. I can't think of a reason why something that obvious 2K would leave out, especially when you have the problem with PS4 where you get the dumb, you can't use a guest account and use custom content because you get a quote-unquote parental advisory whatever error. I don't even know what it is anymore, but I know you get that. You can't use created content if you've got a guest account. Anyway, something that obvious, I couldn't figure out for the life of me why 2K could ever like overlook that. So I definitely think it's just an exploit that, you know, it's not even an exploit, it's just a legitimate part of the game that, because 2K didn't think of it. So, I don't know. But yeah, if you're on PS4 and you ever need to take a break, don't exit out of the mode. Just pause if you're in a match, or try and get through the match and leave it on the $1 Million Tower menu and put it in the rest mode. But there's one positive point here. There is one positive point, and that's if you really want to beat it, the mode teaches you perseverance and resiliency. Because I knew personally that I could beat it, and I wanted to get through it. And whether that be for just because I knew I could and I wanted to, or for selfish reasons like because I wanted to make this video, which that is true as well. I wasn't going to stop until I beat it, and despite the rage, you know, the difficulty kept pushing and driving me forward. So yeah, I do think it was an artificially made bullshit difficulty, but when it was all said and done, it still pushed me to beat the damn mode, so there we go. So yeah, I do think it teaches you perseverance and to keep pushing if you really want it. So, it's a positive point, if you will. And then, now at the very end, these are the last points here. And these all, well, it's only 2 points, because Tyson actually gave me 3 points to talk about, and only 2 of them were really legitimate points, so I'll go through them here. So, in Tyson's opinion, I texted him and asked him if what were his thoughts on the $1 Million Tower, and he said the first point was that it's rigged. Now, no, it's not. No, Tyson, it's not rigged at all. Like, sorry, buddy, it's not rigged. And, you know, there's not much more to say than that, really. It's just, no, it's not rigged. If it were rigged, nobody would beat it. But his second point, it is one that's a little more interesting, because his second point was, it gives the AI priority. Now, I just have to laugh at this point, because Tyson sending me that, it just makes me think of me from years ago, where it's something I used to say frequently was the game was either the AI or Tyson himself, when we were playing against each other, was getting priority over me. And I mean, it does happen. It genuinely does happen. Even today, I was playing Smash Ultimate. Shoutouts, I guess? I don't know. I was playing Smash Ultimate, and I created a Mii Brawler. And with the way that I set up his moveset, I really love it. I think it's one of the most fun characters I've played as in Smash. So I'm not going to change the moveset, but I have come to terms that some of the moves I gave him, you know, the AI gets priority over some of those moves. So it's just something I'm living with, and I just got to learn how to like, I guess, time a little bit better, whatever. But yeah, some of the moves, the AI gets priority, and it doesn't bother me at that point. But yeah, that was a little off-topic Smash Ultimate. I don't even know what to call that, because it wasn't a tangent. or it wasn't a rant or a tangent, but I don't know. Either way, getting back to Tyson thinking the AI gets priority. Now, it's a tricky thing to talk about here because the AI does get priority, and I would say the AI gets priority more in the $1 Million Tower than the base game. But, I mean, as I talked about in the very first point, we as the player, we as AJ Styles in this $1 Million Tower, we get priority too. And we get some ridiculous priority over the AI. I mean, again, go back to my point of AJ getting, ridiculous range on being able to hit the Pele and the Phenomenal Blitz. The AI very rarely reversing Phenomenal Forearm. I mean, does stuff like the AI randomly kicking you from a distance that they should not be able to? Does that happen? Yes. Does the AI get just genuine priority? Like, for example, the game refusing to give the player a mid-move reversal. Does that happen? Yes. But the thing with the reversals, 2K19 just does that. I mean, it's proven at this point that 2K19, even when you have reversal prompts, or not reversal prompts, even when you have reversal stocks, 2K19 sometimes just will not give you a reversal prompt. And so I brought this up in the previous recording. This didn't go up on the channel, by the way. The previous recording of this video, because I recorded everything previously, but I actually had the wrong mic. Selected, so the audio sounded, it sounded shitty. There's no other word for it. It sounded shitty. So that's not the point, though. I brought it up in the last take, and what I said was, with 2K19 not giving you reversals, it feels like what Yuke's and Visual Concepts did for 2K19 is implement a reverse squash match feature. And what I mean by that is how they brought in squash matches in 2K18, and you literally could win matches in less than a minute. So I feel like with 2K19, they intentionally don't give you reversal prompts. That way you can't dominate the AI or whoever you're playing against. Because, I mean, there's been times, even caught on camera, if you look at some of the more recent Tournament Tuesdays episodes where Tyson and I were playing against each other in the tag tournament. The most notable example coming to my mind is the Undisputed Era versus Edge and Christian match. Both my teams, and Tyson was playing as ENC, I was playing as Undisputed Era, and Tyson hit me with back-to-back spears. The first one, it was a dick move on his own part because he did it really close. That doesn't bother me. But the first one, if you go back and look at it, and I might overlay the footage in this video, it didn't give me a reversal prompt, and I have reversal stocks. So 2K19 just does that. So, sorry Tyson. Sorry, but it's not rigged. And while the AI does get priority, we get plenty of priority too. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got to say about the $1 Million Tower. Those are all the thoughts that I can really think of right now, and that I've been able to think of for maybe about a couple of weeks now. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it insightful. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.